What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's me, Jordan Young, Certified Hood Classic. You know what's going on. We're going to catch up on some sneaker news stories. We're going to start off with a pretty interesting story. This particular one has been going viral this past day, and it's all to do with one of the most anticipated sneakers of the month, arguably one of the more anticipated retros of the entire year, the Black Cat 4s. Apparently these things are super squeaky. That's the report that's coming out of a lot of the early reviews or a lot of the people that happen to have these pairs early in hand. And the sound, man, it's pretty jarring. Get a load of this. Oh, bro, it's like got the nipples going, that sound. And this isn't isolated. It's not like, oh, bro, the sound. This is Elliot Page. Shout out to the bro. Listen to this. Oh. Bro, the nipples. Nipples are hard, man. So, okay, according to Elliot Page, the whole reason these things are squeaking is because the eye stays, or the little TPU eye stays at the end of the wings logo, are rubbing against the matted out suede nubuck material on the upper, and that is creating this incredibly jarring squeaking sounds. Now, this particular release is supposed to be GR proportions. The rumors are stock numbers on this release are huge, and you can totally understand why they would be huge, because this shoe, up until recent times, has been reselling for unbelievably crazy money, the 2020 release, that is. And so it's a very little wonder that Nike would want to cash in on the popularity of this release by blasting out like 100K plus pairs. But with this unfortunate feature, I feel like this is going to affect the demand for this shoe, because these videos have been going viral. Pretty much everyone in the sneaker community now knows that they come with this unfortunate auditory defect. And I don't know about you guys, but this is enough for me to think twice about copping a pair, because walking with that squeak, ugh. And it's not like it's, you know, when you have a shoe that squeaks where maybe it's like your sock rubbing on the liner, there's something that bedding the shoe in or wearing it in can potentially alleviate. This feels like it's a feature that's going to be with the shoe for some time, unless you can figure out a way to get around it. So yeah, does this mean that the Black Cat 4s are going to be bricks because they're squeaky bricks? I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this enough to put you off the release, or is it something you're quite happy to put up with? Feel free to let me know. Okay, a little updates on the Travis. Well, I say update. The update is there is no update at the moment at the time of recording. These things are still on the Travis Scott website saying soon. Let's quickly recap everything you need to know about this release, and I'll also try and clear up some questions that some of you guys had around this particular release being available to people outside of the US. So, as we know, these things are available on the as we know, these things have been announced on the Travis Scott website. The raffle is set to go down any day now. It's been up for a few days, and so people are starting to lose, not patience, but people are starting to almost like tune out, having refreshed the page regularly over the past few days. The raffle is set to go live. We don't know when, unless you're hip to one of these cook groups or someone that has access to the back end where you can see activity on the website with pairs being loaded up. It's a mystery when the raffle is going to go live. As we know, when it does go live, you're going to have a limited window in which you can enter for the shoes, something like 30 minutes to get your details in. The recommendation is you input your details manually with all the keystrokes, because the website is tracking keystrokes. Any autofills would be considered bot activity and therefore removed as a possible entrant. If you win, you're going to be notified pretty much immediately, and then you've got to check out as quick as you can. There's a small checkout window of about 30 minutes, but from what I've been told, with the Travis website releases, you've got to be on it. So as soon as you get the email, the link through to cart your shoes and check out, you got to do that fast. Otherwise, yeah, they could be gone. And obviously, there's a risk that the Travis Scott website is going to oversell, because they generally tend to oversell. And so there's the chance that you might have the order canceled. And then even if they do ship, you've still got to beat the final boss, the FedEx delivery guy, the UPS delivery guy, whoever it may be. So you can never really get happy about this win until they are firmly in your hands. Now, for people that are outside the US, people have been wondering whether or not these things are shipping outside the US. It's not clear at the minute whether or not they are, but the suspicion is that they're not. They're not going to be available for you and me here in the UK, for those outside of the USA. And this is really just going off previous Travis Scott raffle releases from the website where they haven't been shipping outside the US. Now, that doesn't mean that if you're based here in the UK like I am, or internationally around the world, that you're not going to have a chance to cop these. There is, I'm pretty sure, there is going to be a Nike sneakers app release later on in the month, and there potentially is going to be a tier 0 retailer release. Very limited quantities of this shoe, as we know. The rumors are something like 50k pairs. Resale prices have been coming down a little bit. Remember, these things were going for over £2,000, which is basically like nigh on $3,000 just a few weeks ago. Now that the release is drawing nearer, prices are tumbling. So I still think this is going to be £1,000 plus shoe, or close to a $1,500 shoe the day of release. And they're probably going to stay high because it's a very wearable colorway. Really nice shoe. Quality looks really good. So that is the updates. If you're hoping to come up on the Travis Scott raffle win outside of the EU, I wouldn't even bother. Now, another update with the Travis One Low fragments is that the retail price has jumped up. $200 is the price these things are going to be fetching, which is $50 more than they were previously. Call it inflation, call it tariffs, call it a sign of the times. Everything's going up. Now, whilst people are complaining, or it is complaint worthy that the retail price has gone up to $200, it's an absolute snippet of what they're going to be going for on the resale market. So it'll be funny to see the same people complaining about the $200 retail, only too happy to pay a little under $1,000 for these if they can get the chance to on the resale market. Ma Maniére have unveiled the Jordan 6 Smoky Mauve, which is the centerpiece for the quote-unquote built for this campaign, which is a new storyline, a new storytelling initiative inspired by the unglamorous work, the unseen pressure, and the discipline that shapes characters. So this collaboration, as well as the accompanying apparel capsule, is going to be releasing on Friday, November the 21st. So not long to wait. 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on mamaniere.com. There's going to be an EQL raffle available for this release. These images have them looking a lot clearer. We've seen a few images going around over the past couple of weeks that, at least to my eye anyway, have been looking at odds with one another. So yeah, let's take a look at these. I mean, what I like about this shoe is you've got a slimmed down ankle collar, which sort of takes away a bit from the OG shape of the shoe, but definitely gives them a little bit more of a streamlined, a little bit more of a luxurious lifestyle type look about them. Very nice indeed. Shape looks good. The colorway, it's classic Ma Maniére. The whole smoky mauve, or the faded violet monochromatic look up top is classic Ma Maniére. The attention to details with the quilted lining looks really nice. The quality, the fabrication, everything looks traditional Ma Maniére at this point. Really nice looking shoe, to be fair. I am a big fan of the Air Jordan 6. Are these going to be easy to cop? Look, I think there's a couple of things to say with Ma Maniére at the moment. This is a lovely shoe. Just on its own, it is a lovely shoe, but it's the same shoe we've seen from Ma Maniére across all of their retro collabs this past few years. This is just another one of their shoes, basically. So it's not special in that sense. It looks like every other retro they've done over the past few years, but by themselves, I think they are very nice. Spike Lee has given us a look at a pretty hot shoe set to come out next year. It's the Air Jordan 3 Levi's collaboration. And yeah, bro had the dark blue denim on feet. looking pretty smitten to have them on. Not really much to say, man. You've got the dark blue denim on the upper, Levi's tag running down the eyelets. You've got the black elephant prints around the heel and around the mudguard in the front. You've got some black midsole coloration combined with some whites. And then you've got the white Nike Air on the heel, and then the black perforated leather around the tongue as per usual. Very clean shoe. They look nice. Is there going to be a huge amount of demand for this shoe? I think so. I think, look, Jordan 3 plus Levi's can't really go wrong. A little bit like the Jordan 4 Levi's. This year, the Air Max 95 Levi's was a bit of a hit, more popular with some than others. But yeah, I'm liking the look of them. Speaking of Air Jordan 3, well, not collabs, but speaking of rare Air Jordan 3s that are supposedly set to come out a little bit further down the line, Trae Young was seen wearing the Air Jordan 3 graffiti, and this is inspired by a 1989 advertisement. Some people have been pointing out, hang on a second, isn't Trae Young an Adidas guy? And up until last year he was, but he is out of that deal and seemingly partnering up with the likes of Nike and Jumpman, which is absolutely fair play. There's not really much to go off apart from these partials of him rocking them in the fit. What seems to be going on here is a primarily bone, cream-colored Air Jordan 3 with some graffiti details splayed through the upper. No specific release info or anything like that. The shoe looks pretty cool. Travis Scott was recently performing in Tokyo and was rocking a pretty interesting pair of custom Jumpman jacks. This is an interesting one, actually. So the shoes themselves are not like official Chrome Hearts, or it's not like an official collab. So he's obviously had someone either gift him this pair or he's had this pair commissioned. Can't really get much of a read on the intricate details, but the unmistakable chrome accents are there, alongside the deep black leather look about them. Would you guys want to see Chrome Hearts and Nike or Jordan brands team up on something official? It's an interesting one, because when it comes to Travis Scott and when it comes to official Nike partners and customization, there are some issues around the acceptability of this, given his standing within the brand and given the intellectual property that's in existence or in play here. And so it's kind of interesting that Travis Scott would wear a custom bearing some kind of intellectual property from another brand. He maybe got it signed off from Chrome Heart. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. So yeah, I mean, that's a whole bunch of waffle for no reason. As an aside, he actually brought out Ye to perform with him, and they did a couple of tracks together or whatever. So it's good to see Ye is still healthy, still out there, still performing, still doing his thing. Bro's gone a little bit quiet in recent times, probably a good thing, to be fair. Had a bit of an update, or a bit of an extra explanation into the upcoming Nike collaboration with Nigo on the Air Force 3. When I first spoke about this shoe in the weekend, I wasn't particularly complimentary of it, because I don't know, like the colorway looks a little bit off to me. It doesn't look particularly inviting, but that's because I didn't really have any of the background knowledge as to the inspiration for the colorway. So it's apparently inspired by the Japanese art of kintsugi, and this is the process of repairing broken ceramics or broken pottery. So in Japan, a really cool part of their culture isn't so much discarding things, but actually repairing things and repurposing things. And the art of kintsugi is where broken pottery or broken ceramics is sort of glued back together, oftentimes with like golden adhesion or adhesive material. And then instead of trying to like glaze over or gloss over or cover over the cracks are actually accentuated, and they end up giving the piece more character as a result. And so these shoes draw on that art form, or that's a whole idea, which I think is actually really cool and really refreshing. So my opinion about these shoes has now changed. I like these. Let's talk about some Adidas. So Edison Chen has brought the Ripple sole, or the jagged sole, to the Adidas Pro model in a winter boot execution. So there's 2 colorways dropping later on this week on the 15th, which is part of a large capsule by Klotz and Adidas Originals, and it's inspired by Ivy League, or an Ivy League aesthetic. So let's take a look at these shoes. These images have them looking really nice in this light. Very much a winter boot. The whole capsule or the whole collection looks really cozy. I mean, look, if you're looking for a winter boot and you like the Pro model, these things look like they would be bang on the money. Whether or not they're completely waterproof, I'm not sure. But yeah, I think this is a really cool shoe for the winter time. Okay, so the Adidas Squid, or the knockdown jellyfish, is actually dropping very soon. The Adistar XLG 2.0, it's dropping on the 15th as well. So initially, when we'd seen the debut pair and we were talking about this shoe, we were thinking it was maybe going to be coming out later on in the year or something, but no, they're right around the corner, this white colorway. So yeah, if you wanted a pair of the jellyfish, but you're not willing to pay over the odds in the resale market, these are a fantastic substitute. ASICS, Marvel, Kith, they're back, this time with a Marvel versus Capcom collaboration. If you guys remember that whole crossover, the arcade games, this was a really cool game. So basically what we've got going on here is a whole bunch of unique colorways that connect to Iron Man, Mega Man, Captain America, Guile, Ryu, and Ken. I used to love this game. The whole crossover between Marvel and Capcom was fantastic. I used to like a Wolverine and Akuma combo. That used to be my go-to combo. The packaging looks awesome. Pretty much in line with one of the collabs of the year last year, the ASICS GT 2160. Yeah, I mean, can't really get much of a read on all of the pairs apart from this central pair here, the Iron Man, as well as some of the other ones on the fringes. No specific release date info, but I feel like this is probably not far away. For a detailed look at the Deshaun Jordan SB Dunk Low, set to go down next year, I think. Pretty cool shoe. These have some inspiration from the home states of Arizona to Deshaun, with the unmistakable snake skin. There's also some snake fangs in the form of this Dubré on the front. Bro, these looking nice, man. Especially with the purple accenting around the ankle collar, right on the liner there. Bro, these look nice, man. What are you guys saying on these? Speaking of SBs, the Nardua SB Dunk Low is going to be dropping very soon, coming up in December. Sneakers App, December 9th, and then Skate Shops, December 6th. It's actually been a whole bunch of like in-store appearances that have been announced as well. So he is going to be in-store in LA, November the 17th, Kingswell, November the 18th, Furnace. From there, moving on to Toronto. He's going to be at Adrift, and then Blue Tile Lounge, November the 25th. End of the month here in London, actually here in the UK. I might pop along to this if I can. November the 28th, Slam City Skates, and then November the 30th, Route 1, then on to New York, and then on to Vancouver. So pretty cool that he's going to be showing up in stores, doing a little bit of a tour to mix it with those that are keen to get their hands on these. According to these images, bro, these look nice, man. This is a very cool dunk collaboration. I've come around to this shoe a lot more as well. You know, SBs have been flying under the radar a lot this year, I think because the hype has, to a large extent, fallen away, and there haven't really been any massive like keynote SB collabs that have just taken over. I know the SB one, the Supreme one was pretty big, but there haven't been any like blockbusters. But that's absolutely fine. This is a very cool release, and it's cool to see that he's going to be out and about helping to promote them. Right, to finish off, let's talk about the sneakers releasing this week that you want to keep an eye out for. Today, Jordan 11 Pearl is releasing for you guys over there in the US. 12th of November tomorrow. You've got the Caitlin Clark Kobe 6 Light Armory Blue. Lovely looking shoe there. 15th, AE2 in the core black, the Jar 3 Daybreaks. I think these have already released here in the UK. Then you've got the Adistar Control 5 collection. Probably the shoe that most people are looking out for this week. Got to be the Jordan 1 Low Chicago. Is this going to be an easy cop? I think if you are, yeah, I think these will be an easy cop. To be fair, I've said it before. I think there will be some sizes sitting around. I don't think these are going to sell out. I think the smaller sizes are going to sit. Don't feel like the hype for Jordan 1s, Jordan 1 Lows is that high at all. Some people might be copying these just to have a bit of a consolation pair in the cut should they strike out on the Travises, which we know most of us almost certainly will. So there will definitely be some demand for this shoe, but I don't think they're going to sell out, to be honest, which is a good thing. Don't get me wrong, good thing. And that is going to do us for today. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Do me a favor and like the video before you bounce, and I will see you on the next one. Take care for now, and peace.